Wake up, lock in, move forward. This is Men's Morning Motivation. Let's get to it.
And good morning, guys. Welcome back to Men's Morning Motivation. This is episode 20. Own your space. Dominate, expand, and make it unmistakable. Alright, guys, we've been pushing hard, and if you've been showing up, you're already seeing the shift in how you operate. But today, we're talking about something bigger, something that separates those who stay small from those who take over. Owning your space. Domination and expansion. We're making it unmistakable that we are here, that we matter, and that your presence is undeniable. This isn't just about making noise, it's about making an impact. It's about carving out territory and planting your flag so deep that no one can ignore it any longer. We're not just operating in the shadows anymore, guys. We've built in the dark, and now it's time for us to step into the light. Just as we've expanded this movement to Spotify and Amazon Music, preserving the best of what we built and reaching more men every single week, you need to be doing the exact same thing in your own life. Leveling up, reaching further, and making sure your message gets out. And speaking of Spotify, if you're listening to us on the platform for the first time, welcome to the movement. This is where we cut through the bullshit and talk about what it really takes to build the life that you deserve. No sugarcoating, no politically correct nonsense, just raw truth about becoming the man you are meant to be. Most people tiptoe through life. They don't want to take up too much space. They don't want to ruffle feathers, and they're afraid of what happens when they finally step up and show the world what they're actually capable of. That stops today. You're not here to be a background character in your own life. You're here to dominate, to take control, and to make yourself undeniable. That means making bold moves. It means no longer waiting for permission to go after what you want. It means fully stepping into your potential. So what does that look like in real life? Stop hesitating to speak up when you have something to say. Stop waiting for the perfect moment because it doesn't fucking exist. Stop holding back because you're afraid of how others will react. That's them, not you. You're either taking up space or you're simply getting pushed into a corner. And I promise you, nobody's going to hand you a spot at the table. You have to take it. I've seen this play out countless times in the workplace, in relationships, in every single area of life. The men who shrink back, who dilute their message, who try to make themselves smaller to fit in, they get overlooked, passed over, and pushed aside. This is not complicated, but it can be hard. The world has conditioned you to shrink, to apologize for your existence, and to make yourself feel small so others feel comfortable. I'm telling you to do the exact opposite. Take up space. Make people uncomfortable if necessary. Stop apologizing for having ambitions, for having desires, and for wanting to be seen and heard. When you walk into a room, own it. And when you speak, mean it. And when you decide on something, commit to it fully. Look at anyone you admire, any leader, any successful person. They didn't get there by shrinking. They got there by stepping up, by commanding attention, and by making themselves impossible to ignore. That is what I want for you. That's what this movement is about. We're creating men who refuse to be overlooked, who refuse to be silenced, and who refuse to play small when they're capable of so much more. Think about this. Any great leader, any great movement, any great brand, none of them stayed in one place. Growth is the default for anything staying strong, because if you're not expanding, you're dying. Period. This is why we took Men's Morning Motivation to Spotify and Amazon Music. That's why we're making sure this movement reaches the most amount of men who need it most. And that's why you need to be doing the exact same thing in your life. Because if you're building something, make sure people know about it. If you're leveling up, don't shrink back, lean in, and let it be known. If you're serious about change, don't half-ass it, go all in. You are not meant to stay stagnant. Your goals should not be something you keep locked in a journal. never taking action on them. The world needs more men who are willing to claim what's theirs. Expansion has three simple key components. First, physical expansion. Are you taking care of your body? Are you building strength, endurance, and presence? The way you carry yourself physically matters. It's not vanity, it's about commanding respect before you even open your mouth. Second, mental expansion. Are you challenging your mind? Are you learning new skills? Are you developing expertise that makes you invaluable? The sharper your mind, the more territory you can claim. And third, network expansion. Who knows what you're capable of? Who would call you first when an opportunity arises? Are you building connections strategically or just floating on the periphery? Expansion isn't just about growing, it's about making that growth visible. It's about claiming territory and then making sure everyone knows it's yours. Think about the difference between a man who quietly improves himself versus one who leverages those improvements. One might be respected in small circles, but the other changes the world. One might be content, but the other creates legacy. Plain and simple, which one do you want to be? We are not building this movement to stay small. We are not whispering this message. We're shouting it. We're making sure it reaches every corner and every man who needs to hear it. That's the mindset you need to adopt: expansion and growth. Taking what you've built and amplifying it until it can't be ignored. Guys, here's the truth. Most people stay small because they're terrified of failure. They let their self-doubt, fear of judgment, and comfort hold them back from taking risks. They convince themselves that they're just being realistic, and they tell themselves that they're not ready yet. So therefore, they wait and wait and wait. Meanwhile, time keeps moving, and opportunities just simply pass them by. Every second you spend hesitating is a second you'll never get back. Every time you choose to hold back instead of stepping up, you reinforce the habit of staying small. Do you want to break through? You want to finally feel that fire inside you translate into action? These invincible shackles, they're all in your mind. You've placed them there, which means you can remove them. Let's identify them one by one. The shackle of comparison. That guy's already better than me, so why try? This is poison. The only person you need to outdo is who you were yesterday. The shackle of past failures. I tried something similar before and it didn't work. So what? Edison failed thousands of times before getting the light bulb right, and Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. Failure is data, not destiny. The shackle of other people's opinions. What will they think if I fail? Who cares? Most people are so wrapped up in their own bullshit and their own insecurities that they barely notice yours. And the shackle of comfort. I'm doing okay. Why rock the boat? Because okay is a slow death. Okay is settling. And okay is what average people tell themselves to justify mediocrity. You need to understand something fundamental. The safety you think you're protecting by playing small, it's an illusion. That comfortable job, it could disappear tomorrow. That steady paycheck, it barely keeps pace with inflation. That security that you cling to, it's just a mirage. The true risk isn't in stepping up, it's in standing still while the world moves on without you. I personally wasted at least 2 decades of my own life waiting for the right time to just take a chance on myself. I've seen my own potential turn to dust because of fear and not planning. Do not be that man. Break those shackles. They're not protecting you, they're imprisoning you. Here's your challenge for this week. It's simple, but it will change everything if you simply do it right. For the next 7 days, I want you to take up space. Speak with conviction, whether it's in a meeting, in your relationships, or just when you're talking to yourself. Make bold moves. Launch the thing that you've been hesitating on, start that project, and just take action. And step outside of your comfort zone. Do something that stretches your identity, that forces you to claim more ground. If you've been playing small, this is your wake up call. The world isn't going to move over and make room for you. You have to take it. If you've been waiting for a sign, guys, this is it. And if you think you can keep staying quiet, staying comfortable, and hoping things will magically change, then you're already losing. Let me get specific with this challenge. I want you to do 3 things every day this week. First, physically take up space. Stand tall, shoulders back, head high. We're going to start there. Second, vocally take up space. Speak 10% louder than you normally would. Eliminate qualifying language like just, sort of, or kind of from your vocabulary. Don't ask for permission when you don't need to. Make statements instead of asking questions. Third, decisively take up space. Make one decision each day that you've been putting off. No more analysis paralysis. Commit and move forward. Whether it's approaching that woman, starting that business, or having that difficult conversation, just Nike that shit and just do it. While we're doing this, we're going to document your progress. Again, this is in the same journal we spoke about on Monday. This is for yourself. Note how people react differently to you and pay attention to how you feel. Because I guarantee you by the end of these 7 days, something somewhere will have shifted. Because the world responds differently to men who simply own their space. Guys, this challenge isn't theoretical, it's practical. These aren't complex strategies that require years to master. These are straightforward actions that you can take immediately, today, right now. And that is where real change happens. Not in the planning, not in the preparation, but in the action, in the doing. Before we wrap up, I want to talk about something serious: the cost of staying invincible. Men are suffering in silence at epidemic levels. That's half of the reason of why I made Men's Morning Motivation. We are all depressed, suicidal, we have addictions. These are the prices we pay when we feel powerless and when we don't own our space in the world. When you shrink yourself and when you don't speak your truth, when you hide your power, it doesn't just go away. It turns inward and becomes self-destructive. The statistics don't lie. Men are 3 to 4 times more likely to die by suicide than women. Male depression often goes undiagnosed because we've been taught not to speak up, not to ask for help, and not to admit vulnerability. And that's not just sad, that's dangerous. The years that I spent in a downward spiral because I was told to just deal with it. This is what it's like being a man. We just get through it and we keep bottling everything up inside. We don't talk about our emotions. We don't talk about what's wrong because we were told that nobody even cares. So we just get through it and it becomes so fucking dangerous. Like, it's not even funny. But here's the thing. So whenever we own your space, this isn't just about being successful or being attractive or getting respect. This is about your mental health. This is about your survival. You need to matter. You do matter. You need to be seen. And we need to make an impact. This is not just for your career or your relationships, but for your soul, for the core of your being. When you shrink back, when you make yourself small, and when you choose to be invincible, you're telling yourself that you don't matter. And repeat it often enough, you'll start to believe it. And that is a road that leads nowhere good. So this isn't just about achievement. This is about your well-being. It's about creating a life worth living, not just existing in the shadows. This is why what we're doing here at Men's Morning Motivation matters. These episodes are not just motivational talk, guys. This is about saving lives. This is about giving men permission to claim their power, to own their space, to demand to be seen and heard. Because when men do this in healthy ways, everybody benefits. Families get stronger fathers, and workplaces get stronger leaders, and communities get stronger contributors. Society needs men who know their worth, who take up space unapologetically, and who refuse to be made invincible. Guys, we are taking over the men's mental health space, one episode, one like, one share at a time. Men's Morning Motivation is not staying where it is. We are expanding, we are dominating, and we are making sure this message hits harder than ever before. And you should be doing the exact same thing in your life. Because the only thing standing between you and the life that you want is your own hesitation. The fucking moment that you decide to step up, to take space, and to make yourself undeniable, that's the single moment where everything changes. There's going to be no more waiting, no more playing small, and no more silence. Guys, own your space, expand, and make it unmistakable. And here's the thing. Once you start doing this, it gets so much easier. This momentum just simply builds and rolls down the hill. The more space you claim, the more naturally it comes to you. The more you expand, the more opportunities you discover. And the more undeniable you become, the less resistance you face. This is about being yourself to the truest core of your being. Whenever you're being authentic, people can tell. I want you to imagine something with me. Imagine walking into a room and immediately being recognized as a force to be reckoned with. Not because you're loud or aggressive, but because your presence speaks before you do. Imagine pursuing opportunities without hesitation, without self-doubt, and without the need for permission or validation. Imagine living completely on your own terms, unapologetically, pursuing what matters to you, and inspiring others through your example. That right there is what this is about. All of this is what awaits you on the other side of today's episode and of this challenge. This is what happens when you finally decide to own your space in the world. Here's the thing. I'm not promising, guys, that it'll be easy, because people who are used to you playing small, they're going to resist. Hell, your own mind will try to pull you back to familiar territory, but you have to push through it because that discomfort is temporary. Guys, remember why we're doing this. Remember who's counting on you to step up, even if that's yourself. Remember what's at stake if you continue to play small. Everything's at stake. Guys, this is your moment. This is your challenge. I hope you really take this to heart and get excited and just get excited like I am about this because this is so important. This is your opportunity, guys, to finally claim what's been yours all along. Own your space, dominate, and make it unmistakable. If this hit home, don't keep it to yourself. Send it to a brother who needs to hear it. You can find Men's Morning Motivation on Spotify, Amazon Music, and YouTube. New episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9:30 a.m. EST. So make sure you hit follow, subscribe, just do what you gotta do. I appreciate your time. Wake up, lock in, move forward. This is Men's Morning Motivation.